Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker,
Luke Young,
Lloyd Johnson,
and this week we have on comedian Andrew Rudick. Andrew, say what's up so the folks know what you sound like.
Yeah,
that's the Spaghetti Man. Give it up, boys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dude, you're
Captain Big Thumbs himself.
Yeah.
I've listened to you for years on podcasts. Like, I've listened to fucking Thunder Slime that you did with Ran. I watched that on YouTube and shit like that, and Puzzle Buddies. I didn't watch a lot of Puzzle Buddies, but or not watch, but listen to a lot of Puzzle Buddies. But I've been a fan of yours, like lightweight, and haven't seen a lot of your comedy.
You.
But I saw you up at Chameleon twice, and you were like doing weird, like funny, goofy shit, just like trying stuff out and just being fun as fuck on stage. It's just like, I don't know, a Chameleon could be like a room full of open micers that feel like they're trying material and like trying to go for it, but a lot of times they're like not bombing, but just their new shit isn't working out. But you're just up there having fun, like bringing the energy of the room up. And then I saw you at the you did the Fuck You Like The Bengals over there at Go Bananas with Lloyd, and I swear to God, every time you open your mouth, just anything that you were improving on or doing anything, it was like I'm dying laughing, like holding my sides laughing. Like you could breathe into a microphone and be fucking funny. I'm stoked that you're on the fucking show today, brother.
Let's just end it there. That was good enough. That's good enough. I don't want to have. I feel good for the rest of the day.
Flip it. I think Rudick just came.
Yeah, I did come.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think you.
I got my pants all sticky. Unbelievable.
Slimy.
Before we started the podcast, we were talking about I couldn't remember if you were a sober guy or not, because I was going to ask you if you wanted a beer, and I was like, I feel like he's one of the sober guys, and you're like, I'm California sober.
Cali.
But then we started to go into, which is you smoke weed, right? That's your fucking, so we started to go into it, and you started telling stories, and I was like, hold on a second, I want to open the show with this. So let's open up with the why did you get sober? Also, will you close that door real quick?
I got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we started talking about it being in this apartment because I've had some fond memories of blacking out wildly in here. Yep.
Hold it up to the camera.
Yeah.
Hold it up to the camera.
Look at that face. Can you? You can't see my face in there, but it is just.
Okay, we'll use that later.
But,
yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, why did I quit? I don't know. It's weird. It was like a perfect storm of circumstances and things. Like, I think in the back of my mind, I always wanted to quit. And I wasn't good. I was a bad drinker. I wasn't good at it.
See, I disagree because it was a lot of fun. But
yeah, I mean,
that's my problem when people get sober. I'm always like, nah, dude, you're so much fun as a drunk, and then they fucking slowly start ruining. They're like smoking crack, and I'm like, oh, I should have let them go with the fucking. Yeah, get sober.
Yeah,
it's gonna turn bad. They probably know themselves better than I do.
I had all kinds of. I had a comic tell me that I was the funnest blackout drunk he had ever met. After I quit, so there was a real fear that I wasn't gonna be able to be funny because I was always, my friends would film me freestyle rapping and they got me all hyped up, but I don't remember these things.
Yeah.
You were.
I'm secretly the greatest rapper of
Apparently,
all time.
I'm pretty good, but also very offensive. So I don't want to hear any of the tapes. Oh yeah, you show these guys that? That's
This is when I was talking about we were at Brouhaha and he's doing this and he told me to film it.
He's on the floor. Yeah. His back is on. His shoulders are on the ground.
His
and his
hip
hips
thrusting in rotation.
I believe it's pigeon pose in yoga, or I don't know what it's called exactly. No, it's bridge pose.
There's like 3 or 4 different ones.
I don't remember. Lloyd was like, I used to tell him to film me when I was blackout drunk, and now it's coming back to me now that I'm seeing use myself as a mop.
You look like you're giving one of the greatest solo performances on theater of all time.
That's the thing, is I would always sell it. That's why people loved me as a drunk. I was fucking great at karaoke. No pitch, but I would fucking sell it. You know what I mean?
I remember
the stage presence was there.
Yeah.
I remember over at Northside Yacht Club, both him and another comic that used to be around Chicago were both annihilated.
Yeah.
But both of them went up and like when they performed, they belted that shit out like it was like they were on a show trying to win an award. Like they both like.
What was the funniest Rudick blackout moment that you have? You've known Rudick for years now, Lloyd.
When he got into an argument with himself.
Was he doing the back and forth of he's like here and then he's over here?
Schizophrenic.
After Brouhaha, someone was talking about something, and then Rudick threw threw a comment into the conversation. And then like 30 seconds later, he was like, well, who said blah, blah, blah? It was him. He said it. Because he argued the point he had made before that. And I'm like, this is what we should have filmed.
I love Rudick's face. I love Rudick's face right now because this is a new story to him. He doesn't even know he did it.
These
Type
are all
shit.
new.
It had something to do with music. I think you were talking about like Fleetwood Mac or something.
Definitely.
And one
you
side
said-
of him loves
well,
Fleetwood Mac, but the other side of him
No,
hated
but,
it.
both
No,
points
all
were him
sides
saying
of
they
it.
were awesome. It was just he was like, well, their best song is blah, blah, blah. And then other people went on, and then he was like, hold on, wait, no, their best song is this. Who said it was this? And I'm like, you did.
Do you? I know blackout drunk implies blackout. You don't remember, but do you have one blackout that you did like, or something that a brownout situation where you remember like I was crushing tonight?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, a lot of them. I had a lot of glory days. You know, like one time speaking of karaoke, we went up to Columbus and the bartender told Ran, I got so drunk. It was a gay bar that was doing karaoke. The bartender told Ran, hey, man, can you tell your buddy that he needs to stop rolling around on the ground or we're going to kick him out? And
You're on a dirty-ass floor,
dirty floor. And then Ran was like, told me, and I was like, can you just ask him if I can just roll around for a little bit more? And he went back and he asked the bartender. And then the guy's like, all right, just for a little bit. And then I got to roll around for a little bit more.
Dude,
And
he
they
said
kicked me
yes.
out. Yeah.
That's how much.
That's
How much
rule.
fun you
That's
are.
beautiful.
No, that's how fun gay bars are. They don't, they're like, we have rules, but also, all right.
At first, the bartender was trying to help. Like, you probably don't know what's on that floor. Maybe stop him. And then he's like,
Yeah,
oh, well,
like-
if he wants
Yeah.
to roll in it.
I'm like, what is it? Come, let me get it. Yeah, I'm a sticky little worm. Okay. That's not good. That's not. Nobody needs that.
I think everyone needs that.
What was your?
Everyone needs some
Sticky worm, clip it.
It's a clip. Yeah, I know with me, I have the shameful moments of like blackout drinking. Even when I don't do something bad necessarily, it's been a thing on the show a bunch where they'll get a fucking 8-paragraph message and both of them will be like,
sorry,
dude, we had fun last night. Why are you
I'm
writing
so
this?
sorry if I fucking did anything to you last night. Like, I apologize. I woke up feeling like shit, dude. I'm so sorry.
It comes from a place of doing a lot of bad things. I've gotten violent with people a lot, and I've done horrible shit drinking.
Aware.
But like, even if I haven't done those things, I always have that moment of like, oh fuck, I don't remember. And I was probably thinking I was crushing as far as like jokes go in the night, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, I remember one bad line, and people looking at me, and I was like, no. And I sit in the shower like crying, like upset with myself, never drink it again. Like as I'm about to go break out another bump of cocaine to get over the fucking hangover. But like fucking I've had so many moments of like just shameful fucking hating myself. Is that where do you get that in the mornings when you were drinking? Where
Oh
it's like,
yeah, I can relate to that 100%. I mean, and it was especially like when I was like single and just like sad and just trying to like, meet people and like I'd be like, God, what did I like text somebody or what did I say? Like, what embarrassing shit did I do or say at a bar? Or, you know what I mean? Or what did I like send a text to somebody, to an ex or something, or some horrible, you know what I mean? Where it was just like, man, yeah.
Do you ever
all
delete
time.
the messages the next day where you look at them and you delete them so you can't read them back to yourself and hate
It's
yourself?
like it never happened.
Yeah, dude, I do that, and then I'll get drunk and I'll write them again. So if you ever see the people that are like, the creepy dude that'll hit you up, like I might have done that before on accident because I've deleted the message, but on their end, it's 4 messages of blackout drunkery, and I'm like, well, if I delete that, that's gone forever. Yeah, until next time when you look at it and it's a fresh message chat, and I'm like, okay, another drunk message, and I'm like, oh no, I'm that fucking guy. Like, I gotta get
You
my
know
life
what? I
together.
believe it. You look like the kind of guy who'd be like, "You're so fucking hot." So drunk. And then when they
I've
don't
sent those
answer,
embarrassing.
you're replying back like, "Fuck you too, bitch."
No, I don't do that side of it. I don't do that side of it. But I'm like, damn, dude, I am those guys and some of those memes. Sometimes when I get fucking hammered, I'm all coked up in the middle of the night, and it's like, of course, single or whatever. Just like, I'm gonna get some pussy tonight. Like just hitting people up at 3.
Someone's up at 3 a.m. on
Yeah.
a Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, this is not going to pan out, Cody. And then you delete it, and then you do it all over again next Tuesday. And I'm like, oh, God, I am that fucking guy. Have you done shit like that?
Oh, yeah. I remember one time with my ex, this is so embarrassing. I can't believe I'm going to tell a story. But it was like after we had broken up, but I was like, we're still kind of together on and off or whatever. And I was just like trying to make her like feel jealous. And I met this girl at the bar, and this girl was like hitting on me. And I basically sent my ex a message like, hey, this girl was hitting on me. Like, I could have hooked up with her, but I didn't. Blah, blah, blah. And then I was embarrassed, blacked out drunk, deleted the message, didn't realize, in my head, I thought you could, like, by deleting it, I was
It's gone
unsending
forever.
it.
Yeah.
And then, in my blackout state, I sent the message again, rephrased, but, like, dragging again. And she was like, yeah, no, I saw it the first time. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
By the by, in case you didn't see it.
She was hitting on me. I was rocking karaoke that night. So. Yeah.
She said he had nice thumbs.
Yeah.
What was
back to
What was your over the top? Because, like, the moment where you're like, "It's fuck this. I'm not doing this ever again."
it was the day I quit. It was New Year's Eve 2019, and it was sort of reflected to me in my ex at the time got super drunk, and I kind of like had to take care of her the whole night, and it was like a nightmare, and I didn't drink, and I was just like, I was so fed up. I mean, it wasn't because of that, but it was that kind of triggered in me. I'd been thinking about it for a long time, and I was just like, I'm done. And I was like, I'm going to try to stop for 30 days. And then after 30 days, I was like, I'm just done with this. It's been fucking my life up.
That's amazing. It's not that any part of his life was spiraling. It's that he had to take care of someone for 3 hours. Then he was like, I'm never doing this again.
Never again. Never again.
He now has like the out of all time. Like, I don't drink, so I'm not going to be any part of having
Right. Don't ask me to be.
You just made life easier.
Yeah.
Just, like giving yourself an all-time cop out of like, I'm not getting involved. You're drunk. I don't
Yeah.
drink.
It's so good.
Yeah.
How
But I
much?
also felt like I couldn't get better at comedy. Like I felt
Oh, yeah?
stuck, and I felt like I was kind of like plateauing, and there was like I was just lazy, and I was just like I couldn't just do the things I needed to do, and that was I knew it was holding me back, and it was. And I quit, and at first I was like, oh man, am I like, I'm the most fun blackout drunk some people have ever met. Am I going to be able to be funny again without being fucking Candy Andy?
I'm sorry to interrupt right there. I know I referenced Stanhope too much, but this is, I think, are you a Stanhope fan at all? Or
Yeah, I'm not like a huge, I mean, I love him. He's great. I'm not like a huge, I don't know his whole.
The reason I'm asking though, like I feel like a lot of comics, especially drinker and drug user comics, can fall into that trap of something that Stanhope said, where he's like, I am legitimately a funnier drunk. Like AA friends will be like, oh, you're quitting. Well, not tonight. We got tickets to the Late Show, but yeah, then I'll support you. Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
And he's like, honestly, I'm a better. So I feel like there are some comics that may have seen that or similar, like other drinking comics say similar shit and be like, I'm not gonna be funny. I'm the same way I am, way funnier, like as a drunk and shit like that. Was there any of that inside of your head where you're like, I am?
Yeah, totally. And I would say that's probably the case like 1% of the time. For like 1% of people, probably like Stanhope and a subset of people that are like just happen to be wired for that way. That's how they are. But I think for most people, it's just like, I think that is such a myth that like,
It is.
you know, like mental illness. It's like, no, because the healthier you get in your mind, your body, everything, the better you get at comedy. And I felt like for 60 days after I quit, I was like, I am getting worse at stand-up. Well, no, I wasn't getting worse. I was fucking detoxing from alcohol. So I was like depressed. And then on stage, I wasn't performing as well because I was depressed. But then like 4 months, once it all came out of my system, I was like, oh my God, I am like miles better now, like in a short period of time.
I always love when people would reference Attell. Like Attell, I was like, Attell's been sober for 10 years and hasn't ever. Oh, he goes up on stage with a drink. Yeah, it's a virgin fucking drink so that he looks like he's drinking. He literally was saying the same shit. Like you said, it's the 1%. A Stanhope maybe, and maybe somebody else, and even Stanhope kind of plateaus right now in his comedy. Like he's still fucking one of the greatest ever, but I see it in his. It's like, I don't know if you got sober if you'd be better, but it's like you said, if you fucking worked on yourself and your mental illness and your fucking.
If you're not hungover every morning, you can write. I used to not be able to write any day because I was like just sick in the morning. Every morning.
I went the other way. I just drink now enough that I never am hungover.
Yeah.
It's that Archer bit. It was just like, you don't get hangovers
forever
anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Not if you never stop drinking.
You don't get hangovers if you don't stop drinking.
The forever drunk.
Yeah.
So I just get drunk every night, and then I wake up feeling the same way every morning. And
Yeah, I saw you with your finger up.
You're like the Bruce Banner of like drinking. Like, that's my secret. I'm always drunk.
I do like that there's people who are like, are you drunk? Or so I'm like, I mean, I've been drinking. They're like, what? Okay, we've seen the exact same.
You also have a higher tolerance than anyone I've ever seen. I've never seen you and been like, Lloyd seems drunk. You just always seem sober.
Yeah.
Because you have you're like, I don't know.
I've gotten Lloyd drunk, but you got to work on it. You got to really fucking. He was like, I'm not getting drunk. My back hurts. I'm like, we're doing shots, which he won't do normally. But we got to a point
Stick
of
him
like
with a horse tranquilizer, start shoving shots down.
No, yeah, really. It was like, dude, we're gonna start doing shots, and I was so annoying that he was like, fuck, I'm just gonna do it just to fucking Cody's pissing me off. So we start doing shots, and then he finally starts getting hammered, and
then after a couple of shots, I started pouring shots, and I saw him regret.
Yeah.
That like we're gonna do shots moment.
Oh, dude, we both have heartburn like a motherfucker. This whole thing should be sponsored by Tums. Like Tums has changed my life in a way that I never thought that it would. I would just suffer with heartburn until he's like, eat 3 of these, and I'm like, oh, not only is the fucking the heartburn gone, but all the gas that makes me feel like I'm having a heart attack is gone. Luke was like, this is like a Tums commercial in action right now. But after every shot that we would do, both of our
because you're like, oh, my insides are dying. I'm gonna vomit. And you're like, eat some Tums, and you're like, no, I don't have like a headache or whatever. Like you had some like retarded ass answer for not wanting to eat Tums, and he's like, no, it's for this exact reason. You're like, really? So you like ate a mouthful, and like just a couple minutes later, you're like, wow, these are amazing.
The shots we were doing that night though were blowing up my heartburn so hard that after like what he was saying about regretting it, it was after everyone we were like, oh god, oh Jesus, like trying not to throw up acid all over the table and shit like that. And then 4 minutes later, he's like, all right, we're doing another one. I'm like, not another one.
See, I wasn't.
That Tums. We want a sponsorship, Tums. Bastard sermon podcast. Tums won't make you not feel like you're having a heart attack when you're trying to do coke.
I like that fixes that for Cody. It's like, nothing in Tums makes you feel like you're not going to have a heart attack.
No,
he's like, no, it's fine.
It's gas pain. It helps with gas and like a lot of my heart attack,
that tastes
anxiety.
like candy.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. When do you miss drinking the most? Because I know there's got to be a moment as like a hardcore drinker. Like I know that there's moments. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as frequent as you would think. I guess. That's a good question. Maybe a little bit at like weddings or celebration, or like if it's like a specific comic hang. But even then, it's like I kind of remove myself from those situations where it's like late.
Do you ever see like the peripheral your boys getting after it? Because if you see drunk people, you're like, this is fucking annoying. Like as a sober, I'm just like, I gotta get the fuck. Cause I did.
Yeah, just leave.
Yeah, that's why he quit.
Like, I did that 70 days of sobriety. It made me hate everybody. I'm like, I don't like anyone now. Like, it was like alcohol made it tolerable for me to deal with human beings in general. So I was like, I need to just not be drunk every day.
Because you get drunk and then you like hang out underneath a bridge with like scary people.
Yeah, I do hang out with fucking like insane, like, wild people that are like stealing cars, and I don't do the felony.
Like, don't hang out with those people sober because they're not sober.
Yeah, a lot of my friends do like smoke crack, and some of them are like on heroin, and like. My friend called me the other day, and he was like, I just stole a stolen car. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I found it in a band. He lives in Detroit, and like really sketchy part of Detroit. That's
called Detroit.
Yeah, he got this. He was like, I got that COVID money, and I went and bought me an abando. And I was like, an abandoned house. And he's like, yeah, dude, it was like $3,000. He was like, the septic system's all fucked up, and
what a steal.
He did all this fucking. He's always doing this work, but he's like a wild, like going to jail and like going to prison and fucking smoking crack, but posting it on fucking Facebook stories, like him burning houses down in Detroit. And then he was like, dude, I got the funniest fucking thing where he was just like, I can't.
Oh, this
show
is the weirdo we had on the phone, right?
Yeah. I didn't want to say it because I don't want to blow his spot up or whatever. If you find it, you find it. I don't want to say his name, but he was like, yeah, there was this car, and it was like, I looked inside of it, and it was like right by where we're doing like graffiti, because he's like a graffiti writer.
Sure.
And, he was fucking. He was like, I noticed it had like scissors in the thing, and I went to open it up, and we started that bad motherfucker up. He's like, I blew the engine. I felt so bad. He was like, I thought we were just gonna fuck around, do burnouts, and then the engine just died on me. And I can't show it to the camera, but he did send me the video of it. Just it was. Hold on. Let me find it real quick.
I like how he said I stole a stolen car.
That's what made it so funny to me.
You just stole a car. Yeah. It wasn't stolen until you stole.
No, like it's that Robin Hood mentality, like as long as you're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's chugging a fucking... He's got a whole 40 of Old English, like, hanging out the window.
This looks like one of those dirty people in that group
that is him.
picture
That's
that
him.
you sent us.
No, that is him.
Dude, I hated that you sent us that picture. He sent us a picture of the smelliest photo I've ever seen in my life.
You want to see it?
Like, filled with the grossest...
Are you comfortable
and they're
with
all
nude
naked.
People?
They're all naked.
Yeah, nudity I'm fine with. Gore, I can't stand.
There's no gore. It's that one. He gets naked. He calls me on Facebook calls like... naked all the time and all this fucking crazy shit. And he's like, if we were hanging out right now, would you get naked?
Doesn't
I
that
was like,
smell?
I was like,
so
dude, your dick
fucking
is
bad.
just as little as mine.
yeah.
Do you want to see the video of him pissing on a girl?
No.
Probably not.
No, you sure? He sent me that because he was one of those dudes
I'm
that
worried
had
I might
a.
like it.
Yeah.
I haven't been
Oh, dude,
turned
every time I
to
beat
that
off the
side.
pee porn, I get so upset with myself afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I didn't know that I
Never
was.
should have opened the wormhole.
Exactly.
That's
dude.
what I call my
Oh,
underwear.
no.
The wormhole. I got a little slit in them.
Sticky worm.
So you after you quit drinking, you said you had that worry that you might not be as funny as you used to be, and then you went through the months of depression to shake it off. Was it just you going up and like not doing as well because you were depressed again and again and again to shake it off to get that good, or is there something else you're doing now to get over those humps instead of drinking? Like, when
No,
you
I mean-
plateau, what do you do now instead of?
I think you got to
bar?
change your
heroin.
habits, like whatever habits. Like I could do it now. There are multiple negative habits.
Like
that I
the
have that I
way
need
you
to
approach
eliminate.
like a joke, or the way you're
Just the way your
writing, or-
working habits, just sitting down to do it and making time for it. And if you're hungover, you can't like. That was the big thing for me. But I was detoxing for like 30, 60 days, so I just I didn't feel good. I felt depressed, and you can't be as funny in those states. But then after that, it's like, oh no, I'm not getting less funny. Like I was just like fucked up. Now I'm good. Now I feel good, and I find other habits to replace it with. And
What do you
I mean, I'm a
replace
huge
it with?
pothead too, so I don't want to be disingenuous because I smoke weed like a crazy person. But I've also always
with
done
you,
that
brother.
since I was young. Since I was
Yeah.
like 15.
I don't feel like weed's a
Um,
bad thing. He's a big pothead
yeah.
and he doesn't really do other drugs. Like you dabble, but you've never been hard. Like, you've never been the one that hang
I do
out.
psychedelics if you put it in front of me.
If we're doing
Yeah,
whatever
I'll do
drug it is, like
occasional
you'll dabble, but you'll be at some point you'll be like, I'm out of here. I'll be the one where it's like, let's keep it going till fucking tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
and I'm 100% there drinking, doing that.
We're gonna meet
you
some
got more
bridge
drugs.
people,
Yeah,
steal some stolen cars, and get at it.
yeah.
I like that.
I don't do the felony activity, but he knows that guy that's crazy knows that I think that shit's funny, so he sends it to me, like knowing
Yeah.
that he was like,
I like that as a comic. I want to come watch these bridge folk.
I can tell you, like,
They're-
It's good.
As like I'm not a comic, but I have comedy instincts of like
Sure.
I know I shouldn't be hanging out with these, but like they
Dude,
have the
I'm
best
waiting-
stories. They have
Yeah,
the
they're the
best.
best people you can hang
Dude,
out
you
with.
If I
say
could
that,
figure
and
out
I'm
a way
waiting
to-
for you to come in one week, and you're like, so I was hanging out with the bridge people, and like, we met up with some friends of
Bridge
theirs,
people.
and then they forced us into like their friends forced us into a car, right? And they held us all at gunpoint, and they were like yelling at my bridge friends about like the money they like you just fall into a ridiculously dangerous situation.
It actually
from
gets
the
more.
bridge
It
people.
gets more depressing than that. Like when they're like wild, like smoking crack early in the day. Like yeah, they get like that. But the
Early in
later
the
in the
day.
night, they get depressed because the people living those lives are having a bad time inside their head and they're mentally ill and they're doing insane. I've hung out with them like for long periods of time, and we sit and talk about trauma. Really, it's just like. It's an ongoing thing. Maybe it's just a me thing because I always
but you
bring that
also
out.
you also engage like the worst people.
Yeah,
It's like one night we were here drinking and we walked
dude,
up.
he's right.
We walked up to BP
yeah.
and there's some dude out there like in a polo shirt and jeans and like didn't look like he belonged with that BP
He's
at
got
all.
blood on his shoes.
And the guy like he's trying to talk to us.
Guy.
He's trying to talk to us on our way in. And then he catches us on the way out, and Cody's like, "Oh yeah," but like just starts engaging and talking.
Nice
to him.
shoes.
And I'm like, "Hey,
I
let's."
like the blood.
I was like, "Let's leave the meth addict at BP." Like, and he looked at me like, "What? This guy?" I was like, "Yeah, he's clearly fucking messed up right now." Like,
No, that was what made him appealing to me. Was like, oh, he's
Right.
fucking crazy and he's unhinged and he might stab me. Like that's fun for me. That's also why drinking is a problem because I don't do that as much sober.
Yeah.
I still do it sober, but like, it's not like I need alcohol to like connect with crazy people. But
You're kind
I
of an
genuinely,
adrenaline junkie.
Not really. I don't like roller coasters. I don't like heights. I don't like airplanes. I don't
he's
like
a crazy
fucking-
junkie. He just likes crazy.
I like
You're a
crazy
junkie
people.
But like,
Oh, you're a heroin addict. Okay. I
but like we're
figured it out.
walking from BP back to here, and Cody's so engaged with this guy. The guy's walking with us,
Yeah.
and then we get to like
He's
the
like,
bottom.
These
of,
are my new friends.
We get to the bottom of the stairs where we're about to come up here, and Cody like stops to keep talking. And I'm like, "Hey, come on, we gotta."
You made the right call because I would have talked to him for 45 more minutes until shit got really sideways. But
Yeah.
I would have had his number. We would have been friends on Facebook and shit like that. I'd have been like, all right, dude, I'm not gonna smoke crack, but I'll shotgun it out of your old heroin mouth. And
But like Cody was.
it would have got wild.
Cody was this far from being like, "Well, come on up," and blah blah. Like,
No, I wouldn't have done that to you.
I'm just like that. Where the way like he literally had the guy at the bottom of the stairs, and I'm like, well, now he knows where we're at. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when he starts coming down a little bit, he'll be like, hey, you guys have any drugs? Like,
Yeah.
I just was expecting that dude to knock on the door for the next like 6 hours.
Yeah, that's my fault.
And then I saw him like a few days later.
Here I am. The podcast.
I saw that guy a few days later at BP at like 5 p.m. And he just looked at me and his head just goes down. He's staring at the ground all ashamed. Like, you called me out. Like, he had that like energy to him. And I'm like, I don't want this relationship to continue. Like, just don't recognize me, please. Don't.
Yeah.
Did you ever engage with crazy like that when you were drinking?
No. I think I'm a very anxious person, and I'm very scared of a lot of things. So
I was saying in a group chat, I was like, I don't know what it is, but there's been a couple times where I've talked to you. There's been a lot of interaction between us, but the couple times I'm like, he has this weird anxiety that I feel when I'm around him, where I'm like, are you like, why are you scared of me, or what is going on here?
No,
but then you get up on stage and you like
social
crush,
anxiety.
and I'm like, okay, well, it probably is just like a social anxiety thing.
Yeah,
but I
totally.
read that on you the first couple of times that I met you, where it was just like, this is like, it's like coming off of you super hardcore. But that makes sense why you're drinking then. Like, it gets rid of all of that. Like, it's done.
I
with.
started taking some Lexapro to deal with that.
Does that help?
About a month ago. It's helped a lot.
It's got to build up in your
lot.
system, right?
Yes, it's only recently, the last couple of weeks, finally started to
Make a difference.
kick in. But yes,
I heard it's one of those antidepressants that doesn't make you want to put a gun in your mouth.
There's no side effects. I've had like 0 side effects. A little bit of sleepiness, maybe.
Yeah.
I was hoping my dick would stop working so good.
Hey, Doc, can you throw a
I'm
couple
sick of it. It's a curse.
He's like, can you throw a couple of Wellbutrin in there with
Yeah.
it? Just so some days I'm
Kill
not.
this thing. I'm sick of it.
He's like, some
It's
days
a
I'm not
curse.
having to fucking just beast it out 6 times a
Yeah.
night. I mean,
It's an undie curse. But no, that's been very helpful. And I hate that that's something that I've actively like tried to correct, especially in like comedy, because it's all networking and talking to people. So yeah, I'm a weird little guy. My sister is a comedian too, and she's got the exact same like type of anxiety where it's like it's social and it's very like
A lot of people do.
yeah.
Like,
a lot of
Jeremy has
comics.
that. Jeremy
too.
has that hardcore. I mean, I don't feel like a
Totally.
blown up Jeremy.
Blake has it too. I mean, a lot of comics.
like with Rudick, if I see him at a show or whatever before he goes up, I'll just say hi, and I don't engage past that because like I can always tell it's like there's a little bit more of it before shows, and then once he performs and is on and is done.
Yeah.
Then
It's
he's
a
much
lot.
more willing to talk to you. And
It's a good
I'm
point.
like a battery, you know what I mean? I've got a limit as soon as I step out of the house. The house is the charger.
Balls
Yeah.
full.
And then it starts
completely
to drop.
full.
But then
Yeah.
like the friend group is the portable charger.
I like that. That's a
as
good
soon
analogy.
as you're around them,
You get
know,
juiced.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Juiced up.
And as soon
Duracell.
as they start to drift away and you're just by your alone, so it's depleting again.
Yeah.
And you're just, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Why
No,
am
I thought you were
why
just
am I
going to say
outside?
you're a battery because you
Yeah.
like being inside of rabbits.
Yeah. You know what's a portable charger? Going 90 on the highway and jerking off, because that gets your engine going. Because it's life or death, and it's like it's a lot of like adrenaline through your dick. Like I said, that's
Are you
why I got
speaking
the
from experience, bro?
Yeah, brother.
Where was
Brother.
were you hitting this straightaway or something? What's
Yeah.
happening?
He's like
Yeah.
when those nights you're driving back from Dayton with 4 other
Yeah.
comics and you just
Exactly.
Do you have
and everyone agrees to say nothing. So,
Yeah.
Are you
Oh, there's a
married?
silent
Are you
pact.
married? Do you have a girlfriend?
I have a girlfriend. We've been
Okay.
dating for about a little over 2 years. We started dating like right before the pandemic started.
What's the
Nah,
worst thing
oh,
about
that's-
her?
that's a
What do you
crucial
hate the
time.
most
Worst
about
thing
your
about
girlfriend?
her? Fucking everything. No,
when she
she's-
fucking opens her yap, fucking just spits out blah blah blah.
yeah, her
I fucking-
opinions. I'm like, God, feminist much? Stop talking already. No,
Just
no,
agree.
she's wonderful. She's great. Yeah, we have a strange relationship actually. Because
She beats him.
she hits me.
That's how I come.
She is a mom, and she splits custody with her husband. I've never met her daughter, but she works a very high-profile corporate job. I do comedy, so we don't see each other a whole lot, but it's great for both of us. Like we have a very like unique understanding that it wouldn't
Yeah.
work. Like comedy has ruined so many of my previous relationships.
Right. Because they
the
all
other
know that you're
person-
cheating, and she's too
Yep.
busy with her kid.
Exactly.
So you can crush puss,
Exactly.
and it's not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Puff and dank and making bank. That's what. No. That
so
was
good.
regrettable. Oh yeah.
So, no, that was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Don't listen to this open micer tell you that was good.
Hey.
Fuck you, Luke, and your freckles.
Hey, he was great his second time. You're going up third time at Chameleon?
Yes.
I'm gonna be there too. Shout out! This probably isn't gonna be out by then, is it?
No. It'll be
Yeah.
up on
Well,
Saturday.
Saturday, then Sunday.
We're gonna do fucking great. They're
Of course
gonna,
we
They're
are.
gonna miss it.
Are you
Pieces
going
of
up on that
shit.
night?
Yeah, I'm gonna go up.
Our friend Nick Lavin's also going to be up there. He's a tattoo
nice.
artist, and he doesn't do comedy, and I think he was discouraged. This is actually a good lead into this conversation. I wanted to have Jay Armstrong on here for it, but when we had one of our more regrettable recent guests or whatever, he had listened to it because it's a friend of his. And I went on about how Jay needs to get new jokes and all this shit. And I'm always fucking with Jay online, like just trying to like make jokes with him and shit like that. And then he hit me up about something specific. I'm gonna bring it to the show when I don't want to burn it, but hit him up about something. And then after we had this long conversation, he's like, "By the way, I need to remind you folks that I listen to your podcast." And he was like, "Hey, you fucking assholes said that I need to get new jokes and don't work on my shit." He was like, "None of you dicks have been to my shows in 5 fucking years." And I was like, I revised my opinion on that after I saw you at VA Bennett's show over at the Village Tavern. I was like, I thought that you crushed. I thought you did really good, even for a room full of rowdy drunks where like I'm almost in an altercation because they won't shut up during the comedy. And I was like, you crushed in that room. And he was like, yeah, you guys are dicks. And I was like, yeah, my bad. I'm a fucking idiot. I was like, I'm in no place to talk shit. I do a podcast that gets downloaded 4 times a week. So I'm in no position to criticize anybody's comedy. But I was like, it was very funny that he called me out on it in that moment or whatever. I was getting to a point. I forgot what the fucking point was by making
This is the part where he's letting you talk.
Yeah.
Oh,
No. There was a reason to bring up Jay.
Regrettable guest.
Regrettable guest.
did you say you had a regrettable guest on recently?
We
that
did.
You're not obviously gonna mention their name.
I don't remember him.
The Davey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy sucked.
I have no strong opinions because
I
I'll
have
probably run
strong
into
opinions.
a show with him, and I don't want to be in a fist fight because he hears me on a podcast. I don't
Yeah,
care.
no.
Well, I just
I'm
don't
sorry I
want
brought it up. We
No,
can
no,
talk
no.
No, we
about
could
this.
talk
It's
about it.
fine.
It's
Yeah.
fine. Don't worry about it.
It was terrible. It
Is
was
it a comic?
No.
But he's a guy who is a big white dude who's very comfortable using the N word.
Oh shit.
And
Okay.
then justifying it because he's from Norwood.
What does he do?
I don't.
Dude, I should have told him I was from Price Hill. I might have gotten a pass to say that word, too. I should ask where you applied.
Nothing like a giant white dude to give you a pass to say the hard R.
I know, right? Well, I mean, you know, he got his from
So
another one.
you guys just didn't air it? Is it like? Are
No,
you-
Oh,
no,
no, it's out
You
there.
can go listen
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
Like
Check it out on Spotify and any listening platform. Go tell your friends.
Lily was
Listen.
sitting on the couch and like she's looking at me multiple times like, "Are you gonna fuck him up?" Like she was concerned that it was gonna be an issue.
He was. I think he was going for like edgelord comedy and like just like went as hard as he could on
Just
like
missing.
on that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to fucking talk a bunch of shit about him and have
No,
to
he-
address it in person because I don't think that's a fight I could win fairly. So I'd rather just not fucking do this on a podcast.
No,
right
no,
now.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I'm gonna run
I'll-
into him again.
I'll
so
outright
this is
say
not
he
the thing
seems
to
like
do.
a nice dude. It just wasn't what he was doing wasn't translating.
Yes, he was
So
funny.
when we say regrettable, it was
aside from
yeah,
that.
outside of a handful of things. Like he had good stories that were funny. He was funny like to interact with. It's just certain things where he pushed it on that. I'm like, it's not landing where you think it is. At least not to me.
Or me.
I forget why I brought up Jay. There was a reason, but I fucking completely lost my train of thought
So
on that.
funny.
I did want to bring this up. I don't know if this is something we should or shouldn't talk about, but there's a
Why does Kill Tony Yeah, I called him Kill Tony. Why does Tony look like he's never smoked a cigarette before in his life?
Here's honestly the real reason to hate Rogan for all the reasons that you could have, N-word compilation, whatever, his politics, disinformation, all the fucking like boring reasons to hate him. The real reason is that as a podcast like producer and like as a host that has to like wrangle, sometimes like people be drunk or fucked up and we've dealt with it before. I can't imagine having a drunken fucking tattooed bald chimp man that's up there that just every time that he gets on Kill Tony, he ruins that fucking podcast every single time. They even addressed it. They went on Rogan's podcast, and Brian Redband was like, every time you show up, you're fucking wasted. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm not performing, so I just figure why wouldn't I be bombed out of my mind? And
Cody's chain of thought.
He gets disrespectfully wasted, drunk, and high every time he comes on that fucking podcast. And people have like noticed and made these compilation clips. I don't want to do a bunch of this or get kicked off of YouTube, but it's worth watching just for a minute to be like, this is the fucking, I'm gonna pull it up, but this is the actual reason to fucking hate Joe. Have any of you guys seen this yet?
No.
I've seen.
It's a fucking absolute disaster shit show every fucking time.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of them where he comes on there and he just gets like blackout, out of his mind, fucked up. Like it starts with a
dude. Look, the start of the video is him coming out,
real aggro.
eyes dark, and his lower jaw hanging out, teeth
Real
like
aggro.
bears. Yeah, he's already.
I'm gonna have to lower the volume on this for later on. So if you listen back to this, you might not be able to hear it exactly, but
We are here.
immediately.
This is so dangerous.
Joe, we said it 100.
Yeah, but 75 is conservative. You don't want to get accused of misinformation. 75 is the right number. I'm willing to donate money to parks. We've been high since 12:30 p.m.
Yes.
Listen.
Why does it keep dropping the mic?
That they addressed that, and it seems like they're cutting this up to make it look bad for him. They're literally just cutting out the moments where he talks. And it's like, here's every time that this man talked. He every time that he talks, he slams the mic down on the table to the point to where Tony tries to address it. Like, dude, this is not good for a podcast. And he's like, give me a pillow, bitch. And just like Jesus.
Need a bottle of Buffalo Trace for these gentlemen.
Yeah.
Hans,
Yeah, just what you need, Joe Rogan, is a fucking whole bottle of whiskey right now. You seem like this is exactly what you need in this moment.
Occasion.
This is the first time Joe, I don't know if you know this, but slamming a microphone against a table isn't exactly podcast gold.
Perfect.
You just
Stop questioning me, bitch.
Do we need to put it on a little arm for you so that it holds it up in the air like your show?
No, give me a pillow.
Can we get a hand towel up here for Joe to slam the mic on?
The only
Freddie Gibbs.
The only good part about it is Freddie Gibbs gets up on stage, he signs up, and they pull him out of the bucket, and he gets up there, and like Freddie Gibbs is just like talking shit into a mic, and it gets to a part where he's making fun of Rogan saying the N-word over and over again. And after Rogan ruining Kill Tony multiple times, and just getting away with everything that he does constantly. I'm not on Rogan's side, against Rogan. I don't give a fuck. I think that his shit's boring, but it was just very funny to watch Freddie Gibbs get on there and just completely roast him. And he was like, there was some motherfuckers from Philly coming down about to kill your ass, but like, I got to take care of. I got my family. He was like, thank you very much. And there's another moment in the show where Rogan's trying to talk, and he's like, I'm with Joe Rogan right now. We doing disinformation. And Rogan looks around, and he's like, it's a good business. And he slams the mic back down on the table or whatever the fuck.
Good Lord.
I don't know. Have you ever seen a comic get on stage, bombed out of their fucking mind, think that they're crushing, and then like
Yeah. I'll answer that for him. Yeah.
now imagine that he's one of the biggest headlining comics of all time ever, and he gets up on a fucking stage and on a YouTube video that's gonna be seen by hundreds of thousands of people, and it's just this bad.
Yeah.
This like you can't. I don't know.
Yeah, that whole Austin scene, I'm like, ugh. People are like, everyone should move to Austin. I'm like, why would you want to? I don't know. I don't get it.
It doesn't seem good.
There's
Like it
no
doesn't seem
appeal
like
to
people
me.
are doing good things with it.
Also, I mean, I hate the idea of this show too. As like a comic, it's like you have all of these super experienced comics, and then most of the people that come up, and I don't watch it a ton. I've seen like just like clips, but most of the people that come up aren't even comics, and then the people that are, they're like new, like few years in. It's like you're gonna go up with in front of a panel of like the best comics and do a minute of material. Like that's the worst case scenario for comedy. So as like a way to like make money off, like we're gonna fucking roast all these new. I'm like, that's gross to me. I don't like it.
They just had Tom Papa, and the show starts with Tony being like, oh, I've been wanting to get this guest forever. He's repeatedly said no the entire. I didn't watch the entire thing, but halfway through, Tom Papa might have laughed like a half of like a haha one time and not said shit to anybody. And I'm like, yeah, there's a reason that he's not up there, because this is not fucking. This is not Tom Papa's fucking thing to do.
Also, when you do comedy for a long time, you stop thinking shit's funny. It's sad, but it's like true. Like your meter for like what makes you laugh, it changes so much. So like, I've seen, I don't know, 400,000 comedy shows now in like 11 years of doing it. So like, you know, you get sick of just seeing fucking comedy. Even like great comedy, you're like at some point, unless it's like live, you're like, I don't want to watch a comedy special right now. You know, it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's me. Maybe my experience is different. But
I think we actually talked about this one. That's why I wouldn't do it. Like I like comedy.
Because you'd be too good at it.
No, not at all. But like
It would be.
There's a handful of times like Rand's been like, hey, go do us out. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be on that side of it. I like enjoying it. I like seeing.
Don't lie. I can't imagine Rand being that supportive. Come on now.
You know Rand well enough. So he does have his moments of like him actually being very sweet.
Yeah.
I'm just being a dick.
I know.
Yeah,
Love you, Rand.
But like, you know, different comics have been like, hey, we'll go up. And I'm like, I don't have any desire to do it.
Okay.
But I think that's part of it. Is just like I like watching. I like coming to a fucking open mic and being able to laugh the whole way through. Where
yeah, that goes away for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. And I've seen
Certainly
other
at
comics
open
where
mics.
Can you
I wanna
imagine?
get the fuck out of here.
Can you imagine
I
paying
did my
30
set. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to do that because it's like rude. I try to at least watch a few people after me.
Yeah.
But if I've been there all fucking night, I'll just leave or I've got somewhere to go now.
Imagine you've paid $30 a head and you have to get your phone locked up to see fucking Joe Rogan come up there and ruin an entire show
my God.
and sing Riders on the Storm. There's a point in this where he's just like, Riders on the Storm. Like getting all the
He
lyrics
would
wrong.
fucking love that song too.
He's
I mean,
such
it's a pretty good song. I guess. I don't know.
Don't clam up like this. Oh, I'm ruining my opportunity to get on Rogan one day. Fuck that.
No, it wasn't about Rogan. It was honestly about this. Fuck Rogan, dude. I don't give a fuck. I hate that guy. The damage that he's done to this fucking society in the last 2 years. Like, oh, I'm just a comic. People should know better. Like, fuck that. You know your platform. You know exactly what you're doing. You're doing the same fucking thing that all of these news anchors are doing. You're dividing people and spreading fucking misinformation. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, well, that's one argument. My whole thing is just like, I don't know. He sucks. Every podcast that I ever listen to is like the most boring fucking.
Yeah,
I'm like, how do you even listen long
People
enough
think
to
he's
get the
great.
disinformation? I'm like,
Yeah.
his comedy is world class, some of the best. I love his fucking comedy, but that's it. That's the only thing that he can.
I can't
stand
speak
behind.
to that. I've heard it's great. I haven't. I'm like, I'm not fucking watching his shit after listening to his bullshit. You know. But I've heard it is great. You know.
He's a phenomenal comic. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing now, but he's fucking. But for all the reasons to hate him, it's like if you just watch these, I don't want to do it too long, but if you look up Joe Rogan drunk or Joe Rogan wasted on Kill Tony, there's 3 of them now of him just getting up there and ruining shows. Dom Herrera's up there, and he's like, I fucking love Dom Herrera. He's like grabbing him and doing his fucking like just pissing Dom Herrera off, and Dom Herrera's sitting there like, God, I want to leave so fucking bad. Like, I could just take a piss and, like, never come back, and nobody will even know that I was there. He didn't get to talk once. He shows up after doing a 9-hour podcast, smoking 45 blunts and drinking a bottle of Buffalo Trace. Like, yeah, we need a bottle up here. Just, like, ruining somebody. As a podcast producer, I'm like, I can't imagine trying to wrangle this fucking shit show the entire time. And Tony can't put him on blast because it's like, you want to do Madison Square Garden, bitch? And it was like, I do want to do Madison Square Garden.
Tony's not a good enough comic to shoot himself in the foot for the only guy that lets him tour with him.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like the only reason you're here right now is this guy that's ruining your fucking show.
Yeah.
So you can get pissed off all you want. It's also why it's fun for me to watch these every time that he comes on. I start rubbing my hands together and getting excited, like, oh my god, he's gonna fucking destroy the show, and inevitably he does it every single time. Oh yeah, the one point though, $30 a head, and lock your phone up for
This fucking guy, yeah.
open mic comedy. Like,
This is where he's gonna quiet down and let you talk more.
Oh, that's all right. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
great.
Oh no, it's fun for me.
yeah. Okay, I'll shut up.
The $30 lockdown on your phone.
Well, you pay $30 a head and fucking. Did I already
Oh,
say
you have
this?
to like
Yes.
when you go through the doors for the show, you have to.
Yeah, you gotta
deposit
lock your phone up and then
yeah.
get up there and watch this fucking shit show the entire time. I'm
Hard
like,
pass.
I'd be so fucking mad. Like,
Yeah.
I've been like, oh, this sucks, and walked out of like a free open mic. I can't imagine this fucking bullshit trying to deal with that. Okay, let's turn this back to Rudick. Let's go best and worst shows that you can remember.
Best and worst shows. Worst shows that's a lot easier to identify.
Well, then favorite show would probably replace best then, right?
Yeah, favorite show. I've had some good ones. I got to open for Preacher Lawson at the Dayton Dragons Stadium,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was really cool. And his mom opened. She brought me up as this next comic. I can't remember his name. keep it going for him. That was my intro. So
That's amazing.
Yeah. I just had a set recently at the Columbus Funny Bone that was probably the most important set I've ever had, but not unknowingly to myself, because it got me, I think, passed at all of the Funny Bones, and there's like 13 of them. The owner showed up. I had like lights out, one of the best sets I've ever had. Didn't know it was there. Would have overthought it.
Congratulations.
So they've been booking me like at all their clubs. So I think it might have opened up a...
Hell yeah.
So that was probably the best afterwards feeling I've ever had, because the booker came up to me, he's like, the owner just showed up and you want to work all these clubs, and that's something I've been wanting to do for like 10 years.
Dude, yeah, that's
congratulations.
Before that guy said anything to you, was that like a notable show to you, or were you
Yes,
just
that
like,
club's
no,
hard
I
to
went
get
up there and I murdered like usual, and
It was notable to me in that I had one of the best sets. Yeah, I had one of the best sets I've had. But I wasn't because I didn't think there were any stakes, and because I didn't think that there was a chance of this happening, because that owner never shows up, or that booker was always doing it so remotely. I'd heard he never goes to that club specifically, even though that's the hub of all the Funny Bones. So I had no pressure. I was like, this show doesn't matter. The more you think about shit and overthink it and think there's pressure. If I had known that guy was there, I would have bombed.
yeah.
I would have bombed. And it was just luck that I didn't know and just had a...
Talking about bombing, though, what's
set.
the worst you've ever eaten your balls on stage?
There's been so many to pick from. I don't even... God damn, there's so many.
Have you written a suicide note afterwards? After the show?
No, nothing that quite there yet. But, I mean, it's weird because some bombs are different for different reasons. Like, objectively, the worst bomb I've ever had has, like, you could look at it objectively and everyone could be like, oh, that's the worst bomb ever. But for me, that wasn't my worst bomb. Like, my worst bomb, some of my worst bombs were like, I remember one time when I was first dating one of my girlfriends and I brought her to a show and I was like really trying to impress her, and I just it was one of the worst bombs I've ever had. I was opening for a band at
I'm funny, I
Urban
swear
Artifact.
to God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
people that are going to see fucking live music want to see more
Oh
as
my
a
God.
comic to open it up.
Oh my God. And just fucking bombed.
That's a crowd
I had-
that's ready for comedy right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a lot of I bombed an entire weekend, a whole host weekend at the Dayton Funny Bone when I was a few years in. It was one of my first ever host weekends.
Do you remember why you bombed or like what happened exactly?
Well, it was
What was
it
your
was a
material?
predominantly black crowd, and I don't want to generalize, and crowds are different, people are different, but there is something to all black rooms. It is a different energy. They're very much, it's more difficult a lot. Like they're more like, they don't just give it up for any, like, you got to earn what you get. So
when I look out in the crowd, I was looking to see his eyes and teeth. All right, I'll see myself out.
Wow.
I'll see myself out.
Wow.
I'll take a lap on that
Yeah,
one.
take a lap.
no, I didn't say that. That probably would have got me murdered.
Or they would have loved you.
Yeah,
One or the other.
It's
Yeah.
like, I remember because I used to.
You don't like that?
Rudick's known me long enough. I go to any comedy shows anywhere. I don't care where it's at, what it is. If it's like going down to Newport Funny Bone when they kind of went on that like tilt of being an urban room for a little while. Going down there and just like sitting in a crowd where you're like, oh, this comic's making everyone in the room uncomfortable, which is making me uncomfortable.
The vibes are palpable.
And then all of a sudden someone comes in and just catches that room. You'll
Yeah.
never get a more explosive and fun laugh is when you capture that room.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, the problem for me is that I was raised in a very like suburban world, and the school that I went to, the high school I went to, is like 99% white. It's Anderson. So like it's
where they make.
I
white
very
people.
much have until I really got into comedy, like I wasn't really exposed to like non-white people.
Really?
So I think there was an uncomfortability there, being like 3 years into comedy at the time, where I was, and I'm a classic overthinker. I'm overthinking even talking about race on a podcast with 3 other white dudes.
One with the David Allen Co hat that just made an eyes and teeth joke. Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Didn't
I'm
care
sorry.
for the eyes and teeth joke.
I'm very
Don't know
sorry.
who that is.
I'm very
but
sorry.
I'm glad I don't. I'll probably look him up later.
Don't.
But yeah, I'm not going to.
Just don't.
I bombed so hard that weekend that like I do a bit about it. But this is true. I said I'm going to do one more and then get out of here, and it got an applause break.
No way.
It was
killed
so. That was
myself.
the first night of the weekend.
I would have Bud Dwyer pulled a gun out of an envelope and right there on the stage fucking
And then-
ended it all.
And then at the end of the week, I don't know what came over me, but I was like, I knew I bombed so bad, but the manager was there, and I was like, this is how you got to do it in comedy. You got to take big swings. So I was like, I'm gonna ask the manager for another host weekend. Why? Why would I do that? So I go up to the manager, just in the fucking frenzied state, like, hey, do you need any hosts? And he was like, what, like door guys? And I was like, no, like, like comedy. And he's like, no.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Then I just fell on the floor and started doing the worm.
Yeah.
Huh?
Just let
That
me
was
roll
easy.
around for a little
And
bit
now we're
longer.
engaged.
Yeah. We banged.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, that was a good time.
Have you seen the Batman yet?
Yes.
How'd you feel about Battinson?
Pattinson?
Pattinson, dude.
Yeah, dude.
You did that on purpose. At first, I was gonna judge you, but I was like, "Oh, you did it on purpose." All right.
How did I feel about Batman?
Yeah.
Robert
Can
Pattinson
I-
as Batman.
Oh! I got it.
It was very clever.
But
I'm not gonna speak to his performance per se, but I gotta tell you guys, and I'm not into superhero movies at all.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it. It was so goddamn long.
Yeah,
I took
it
a
was
200
3 hours
milligram.
long, my dude.
Dude, I took a 200 milligram Rice Krispie. I was in Richmond, Virginia.
oh,
I
you
was
ate
doing
a
a club.
square of death.
I went a square of death, and it killed my buzz. It was so boring. I'm like, cut it in half. Like, what do you need all of that? But I guess I just don't get it because I'm not into that like detective noir
Yeah.
or like the superhero. People like fucking love it. All these comics are like, this is fucking amazing. I'm like, all these I'm looking at you, incel and fucking nerds. But no, everybody loved it, but I just don't get. But I felt the same way about Spider-Man. Everyone was like, the new Spider-Man's great. I watched it.
It
I'm
was
like,
dope.
Snooze fest. But it's just I don't like the genre.
It's
It's
interesting.
what
that
it
we-
is.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
can't.
I totally
yeah,
get
I
it.
shouldn't even
I
speak to it.
I love Guardians of the Galaxy the first time I watched it, and I had this nostalgic feeling about it, and I wanted to show it to my kids, and I put it on, and I was like, this movie fucking sucks. Like, this is not a good movie. The
Yeah.
entire time I was watching it, I was like, this is the corniest fucking characters with the corniest dialogue trying to appeal to, like, some sense of, like, 80s nostalgia with the music and
Yep.
the fucking, like... I was like, none of the characters look good. None of them are visually appealing. All the jokes are jokes that could have been done in a better way. Like they're like the corny throwaway superhero movie jokes, and it killed. Like in my head, Guardians of the Galaxy. When I watched it, it was like it was before Marvel had 187 billion fucking movies. So it was like it was probably in their first or second phase of like doing their Marvel shit. I think it was in their first. It was like Iron Man 2. I don't know. It was pretty close to that first one. Then it
Second.
might have been the beginning of the second, but I was like, I hadn't seen as much of that shit, and I was like, this is still like fresh, and I was like, oh, this is completely different. This rules. And I went back to show it to my kids, like, you guys are gonna love this. And I'm watching it the whole time, like, this movie fucking blows. Like, there's no part of this that I fucking enjoy, and I'm scared to see that Batman movie because I get scared to go back and watch.
You're
movies
gonna
for
hate
that
it
reason.
because there's like a scene where Batman puts on a Walkman and starts fucking dancing a white wedding.
That was actually the only part that I liked.
I'll also say, with Cody and movie reviews, I've heard Cody.
Compare Dune to Star Wars.
No, like
That's a fair comparison. I'll argue that all fucking day. It is. It's shitty Star Wars. It's on Tatooine. Keep going. Cody will do what?
I've heard Cody like, if he watches a movie in a bad mood, that movie's terrible.
That's a fact.
No, it's not true. I wasn't in a bad mood when I turned on Guardians of the Galaxy, and I wanted to like it, and I fucking hated it. I was like, this movie sucks balls. Like, there's no...
I'm not saying that you didn't feel that way about that movie, and maybe you weren't in a bad mood. I'm saying just also add that understanding to it. That I've seen him like, he's like, well, I watched this movie and it was fucking stupid and it sucked balls and I hated every bit of it. And then he's like, he'll tell you like 3 months later, he's like, I'll watch it again. It was fucking dope. I'm like, I think you're just in a good mood.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen a lot. What you're talking about doesn't happen a lot, though. Give me an example of what you're talking about.
The Quentin Tarantino film. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, so that movie, the reason that I didn't like it was because I missed the first 25 minutes of it because me and Allie walked into the theater and was like, there's credits, right? Everybody knows there's credits. The screen's black when we go in there. I'm like, we're pretty close to showtime. Why is the screen black? 10 minutes go by, now credits. I'm like, yo, what's going on? We watch all these credits, and it takes fucking forever. And it was like, So when I was like, what the fuck? It was the live action Lion King. We walk out the theater and we look up. Nice. We walked into the wrong theater. So we run over to the other theater and we're fucking 35 minutes deep into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I didn't understand how important that setup was. I was like, hold on, I'm gonna look it up on Wikipedia, and I showed it to her, and I hated it, and I thought I was gonna completely fucking hate it, and I thought it was pretentious and all this shit. Then I rewatched it, like I should give it another chance, but I think I'm gonna hate it. Like going into it in a bad mood, and I watched it and I was like, this surprisingly rules. It's not his best movie. I mean, it's not something I'm going to turn on all the time. It's not a Pulp Fiction or a Jackie Brown or a fucking, like, you know, any of those, or a fucking Kill Tony, Kill Bill, fucking. It's not one of those, but it's a good movie. I just missed that opening setup. You were going to go into, you hated it, I'm sure.
I didn't care for it, but I'm starting to realize that I just think I don't like movies. I don't think I get it.
What's a movie that you like?
Yeah,
I just like comedies, honestly. Like I really just like comedy movies, not like stand-up specials. I mean, I like some
like Lethal Weapon.
No, not. I don't really like Lethal Weapon.
He's
that
like
much.
anything with Jamie Kennedy is fucking dead.
I like Will Ferrell a lot. I mean, a lot of the stuff he's the Step Brothers. You know, I like The Big Lebowski is probably my favorite movie of all time.
I showed that to my girlfriend. She didn't get it, and I was like, I don't know how to explain
The Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
I feel like that's when you just have to like. I didn't get it the first like 5 times. Like, there's so much layered into it.
I was trying to explain those layers, and I was like, there's so much that she doesn't watch in general, and I realized how like. You have to kind of know like a certain level of like shit that's going on in the world at that time almost, and like have seen other movies to know what they're doing and what they're subtly making fun of. And like I'm like, as a Coen Brothers fan, I love it, but I'm like, I can understand from Kayla's perspective how she's like, I'm not even a movie person at all. Like I've seen a couple movies. I don't care for it. When I showed it to her, she's like, I saw it the whole time. I was like, I love this, but also I realized why she didn't get it.
I didn't love it the first time I saw it. Like I liked it, but I didn't really like get it until I watched it a few times. Yeah.
I think it might just take a certain brain capacity to understand certain films. You know, I've heard that so many times about movies, and then I'll watch the movie they're talking about. Like, I had a fine understanding the first time through. Where were you struggling? Do you need me to fill you in on this plot?
I feel like I'm pretty stupid. I watch movies, I'm like, what the fuck is
What's your
going on?
dumbest daily moment? Or what's something that you're just like, God damn it, I'm this fucking stupid for real?
One time I panicked because I couldn't find my keys while I was driving. That was a big one.
That's a pretty good one.
I've lost shit on my hands before.
Yeah.
I've looked for my phone while on the phone with someone.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I've done that.
Yeah, that bums me out so much when I do it. Like I'll be talking on the phone and I'll go to pull my phone out to look for like something to give information to the person I'm on the phone with, and I'll be like, I'll reach my hand in my pocket and then immediately be like, God, I hate myself so much right now. Like it's that like meltdown of like,
why isn't this call over yet?
Any sense of self I have for the rest of the call is just gone. It's just I'm just a piece of shit on the other line right now.
Yeah.
Rudick, we're at 57. We're gonna move over to Patreon now. Is there any dates that you're looking to plug? This will be out this Saturday for the Patreon and Sunday for the free show. So anything after Sunday that you're looking to plug?
Let's see, I got a bunch of shows out of town. I'll be at Go Bananas featuring for Sean Finnerty on April 14th to the 17th.
Where do they follow you at? That's the best way to get it.
At Instagram would be great. At Andrew J. Rudick. R-U Dick. Andrew J. Rudick.
Go and follow them there if you want to check that out. Yeah. If you guys want to hear the rest of this podcast, go over to patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5 a month unlocks all of our content. We've got a bunch of extra shit coming out. We're doing extra free episodes even, bonus content for any episode that we release for free. I mean, we've got Bastard LLCs. We just did Fresh. We just did Hell or High Water. We just did a bunch of movies. We're doing one this week with Nick Lavin, the 13th Warrior. Be on the lookout for that. It's going to be phenomenal. I fucking love that movie too. I haven't seen it in forever. I forgot most of it. I just remember loving it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Luke, do the rest of the reads.
All right, everybody. We are sponsored by the amazing Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. If you guys are trying to smoke on some dankness, I won't complete it because it gave Lloyd some cringe last week. You should head
If you
on
want to
over.
smoke some devil's lettuce.
That one works just as
I
well.
hate it so much.
Head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop because they have you covered. You should head on over to Scarlet and check out their water pipes.
Puff it down.
Puff it down, puff it up, puff it all around.
Yeah.
They've got bowls.
All right, well,
They've got your
this is
Delta. They've
Draw
got
it and shoot it.
I think my back's hurting. You know, we can't do the Patreon.
Yeah, I don't know if I can.
They've got your Delta 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12s, and ups. They've got it all, from edibles to sticky nugs to papers to rolling cones. They have exactly what you need for all of it. I was actually using my gas mask that I got from Scarlet some years ago when they first sponsored the show just the other day.
What are you, 14?
It was
You're
amazing.
using your gas mask?
I'm trying to go to bed, Cody.
How else do I do it without being completely incapacitated and tear gas,
I wanna feel
bleeding
like-
from my eyes from the
He's
fucking
like,
thick?
I want to feel like I was in a war and got high at the same time.
Yeah.
What?
And if
I mean,
that
wants to
sounds
dream.
amazing to you, you
It
should
does.
head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke
Yeah, if you ever
Shop.
watched a mustard gas video and you thought, wow, that looks like a lot of fun right before they die, then go over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke, get you a gas mask, the airtight one with the
it's
lock on
really
it.
good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
The
fun to
straps
have
hold it
weed
in firm.
anxiety and try to figure out how that lock works, but you put it on a big janitor key ring and you
There
gotta
is a
figure-
master lock.
Yeah,
You do
right
have
before
to take it off.
and it seals. It's a suction cup. It seals right to your face.
It's
so-
airtight. You have to rip the bong and you have to get it off soon.
Can you imagine if you died like that? How fucking disappointed
We found
fucking parents
Cody
would be if
dead
they were
in the
still
basement
alive.
with a gas mask tied to his face.
love that.
Bong just spilled on the
Only
floor.
guy that died of weed.
And if you want to die of weed with a gas mask tied to your face, you should head on over to Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop.
Which they really support. If you're not into that, they also sell kratom. You fire a spoonful of that
Yeah,
up
get
in
some
your
kratom
in your
for
Dodge
the
Omni.
real sleepy time stuff.
Yeah, do
they-
you like heroin? Because we have something.
Stop.
We have
Stop.
herbal.
Enough there.
We have herbal
The
heroin.
line is crossed for
We
the
have green
sponsor
tea
jokes.
heroin.
So head on over to 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky 41071, or 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio 45249, and let them know you're a bastard, and you will get 15% off your next order.
Read faster. I want to do drugs.
You got it, bud. Also,
kidding.
we are sponsored by banginsnacks.net.
They are dope.
Banginsnacks.net is dope
They're
as
banging.
shit, dude. It's exactly the place you should visit as soon as you're done visiting Scarlet Vape and
As
Smoke
soon as you
Shop.
get that gas mask
As soon as you're
unsealed
done
from
with
your
Scarlet
face.
Vape and Smoke Shop, go on over to banginsnacks.net and get yourself a couple of bag of chips from fucking Belgium or maybe Korea. You know what I mean?
If
And
you had a
then,
long
in
day of
my
telling Jay
opinion-
Armstrong that his comedy sucks, nothing like really fills the belly up after that. Like a banging snacks,
In my
exotic
opinion-
crab dip fucking chip.
You should head on over to the sweets department and check out the caramelized Kit Kat Golds and the Korean Skittles flower and fruit flavors.
They're very
It's-
good.
It's like eating a candle or air freshener without dying. You know, like it's
But like in a
really
good
good
way.
in a really
Yeah.
delicious way. And use promo code bastards or bastard at your checkout, and you will get 15% off your fucking order.
Couple recommendations from us.
Oh.
The squid chips rule. The fucking tikka masala Pringles rule. The fucking prawn chips fucking rule. There's sweet treats. There's the Skittle ones. We've got all kinds of fucking shit. Try those prawns out, Andrew Rudick. See what you feel. Be honest. If you hate them, say that you hate them. I want you to
They're
try.
prawn flavor.
Can you hold them up to the camera real quick? Hold it up to that camera right there.
When I eat chips, I like them to taste like shelled sea urchins.
All right.
I like sea urchin chips.
Yeah, Quavers. The Quavers. Where are these from?
These are from the UK.
Okay,
Yeah.
from the UK.
Huh.
What are you getting from it?
Could you get down with
They're
those?
good.
I got a nose full
Right.
of vinegar when I smelled it. It's enough to keep you on the edge. It's like,
Yeah.
a little bit of taste. I need just one more. And every time you eat one more, you're like, damn, dude, I crushed a whole bag of these. Like, dude,
They're good.
scratching your neck
Right?
at the end of it.
They have baked squid. Like, so they get chips
The
from.
baked squids are dope.
They get snacks from all over the world.
All
that
over the
just
world.
aren't sold in the U.S.
Yeah.
And very reasonable prices too. Like,
Ooh, this is a fun one that you sent me home with. I chilled it. There's a Fanta that's it's a coconut yogurt flavor, which I thought I was gonna fucking hate it. I'm gonna be honest. I tried it. It has a weird texture, but it was a little bit more syrupy than I'm used to, but not syrupy sweet. Just like a hanger on. It was fucking delicious. And you know what it tasted like? I went to Jungle Gyms one time. This guy broke up in this fucking there's this weird fruit that's got spikes on it, and I almost walked away from it. He's like, "Hold on, you want to try it?"
Dragon fruit.
No. And he busted open. He's like, "There's a big pit, so don't eat it." He was like, "Try this out," and it tastes like
we had him on the show.
It tastes like one of the best grapes you've ever eaten in your entire fucking life, like with a big pit in the middle of it, and that's what this Fanta tasted like. It tasted like you were drinking fresh. Like weird, I don't know the name of it. I'll say
Durian?
grape, but it wasn't.
No,
No, durian
use
for the
the-
smelly ones. It fucking
Patrick had us eat some on the show once.
Yeah, it fucking ruled, dude. It tasted just like that juice and like a nice refreshing
it was
carbonated
really
way.
good. Yeah.
Yo, and I love seeing some shit with kanji on it. I don't know what it is. It's because I'm an anime weeb. Like I grew up loving like anime and seeing like kanji and fucking like Japanese writing on shit. So whenever I see it, I get stoked for like some weeby reason.
Yeah.
It's a fucking banging snacks. Fucking rules. Sorry.
We also have an
You can use the pit for as a butt stopper too.
That's right. You can.
For butt play if you're into butt play, which I am. These are, you're right, they get better as you start eating.
We're gonna talk about butt play on the Patreon. Yeah. No, for real. They keep you on the edge, right?
Yeah.
Where you're like, dude, I want just one more, and I'll be done.
One more.
Every time, it's just one more.
So,
they fucking rule.
We got another read. Our good friend, my cousin Clint Young, has thrown us money for the month to pay for this read. On the 22nd of April, the Black Collar Collective and friends are teaming up again for a 54-hour charity raid train on twitch.com for AIM. AIM, A-I-M, is finding and funding the most promising youth mental health research in the world. In support of that, we are raising funds to help build support a movement devoted to the mental health of children, teens, and young adults. Even if you are not able to donate, come hang out with some incredible people and support a great cause.
Wow, AOL Instant Messengers really stepped their game up.
For more information on AIM, go to aimymh.org.
Is the Black Collar Boys? That's your cousin Clint Young? Is that Rhett Smith still? That's
Red
always
Stang, yeah.
Yeah. And who else? Who else is fucking with that?
Oh, I'm sure a fuckload of streamers.
There's
And
that
54
Ono
hours
guy.
long. There's got to be a bunch. Yeah,
Is
I'm sure
that
Ono
Ono?
plays maybe a part of it.
That's not part of this read that he paid for, I guess. But I saw that Ono guy building like little terrain things out of like styrofoam and builds it up on Twitch. It's a really cool fucking channel on Twitch that I didn't even think was like. I always thought when this video game streamer shit started, it was kind of lame, and then I started watching them, and I was like, this actually rules when I'm trying to do something creative, like in the background, like.
Yeah.
And if my friends are doing it, it's fucking awesome. I don't know that Ono guy, but like, watch some of your cousins. I've watched when you streamed; it was cool. But that Ono does these fucking terrain builds for Dungeons and Dragons playthroughs, and like builds these super intricate fucking like little thing. So anybody that's on there, it rules. Rhett Smith has been on a bunch of fucking times. Go and check him out, and yeah, they're all fucking good people. And your cousin commissioned me to do his. He changed his titling. What's it called? It's Crunch Bite Game. How's it?
I think it just changed the spelling of Crunch Bite.
Okay, yeah. He was like, "Can you do a Viking skull for me with some axes in the background?" I was like, "I got you." And now he's using it as a logo. So fucking yeah.
He's the best.
Dark Mountain Cult. Go and check out Patrick Seda, former host of the Bastard Sermon. He's always got really interesting art. He's always doing shit for people. He's doing raps for consoles. He's doing like dab rig shit that you could set your weed and your dab rig shit on. He's a fucking great artist, and he's always putting out content. I'm also doing art. If you want to hit me up at Cody Hucker on Instagram or add me on Facebook, it's where I fucking shit post constantly. Just fucking find me there and all my shitty jokes. And if you want something, I'll send you my portfolio work. I could work with you. I'd make something cool for you. Is that it?
Yeah.
Patreon. Go over there if you want to hear the rest of this.
Just fuck me, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, fuck you. We like the Bengals. It's a podcast I do with a good friend of ours,
Big
Alex Schubert. And yeah, we're doing some off-season stuff too. So if you're into sports or just two autistic guys being silly, check that
they're
out.
cute.
It's a
They're
great
really cute,
podcast.
too.
I really recommend you listen to it.
Yeah.
Get more comics on. I hope that you guys
Rudick's
have.
been on there.
I hope
Yeah.
Rudick comes back.
I used to
Rudick's
host
so much
it.
fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rudick rules. Everybody go check out Rudick. And next week, Ricky Kenley, unless he bails. But so far, if you
And
guys
then
like,
fuck him. If he shows, check him out.
Hey, he gets it.
he's too big for me to say fuck him. Cause I
Oh
don't
yeah.
wanna
Oh no,
be
he's a
in
big
that
guy. Oh, never mind. I love
A
Ricky.
buddy of mine from the zoo.
Yeah, I love Ricky.
Super interesting guy.
And he's got solid shoes. I got to talk to Ricky about shoes this time because he had the flyest shoes on ever, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I missed an opportunity." All right, that's next week. Check out the Patreon. Goodbye, fuck faces.
Why do you